Yo, what up, YouTube frogs? Yo, chat, say hi to the YouTube frogs, man. Welcome them with an XDD, guys. XDD gang. Yo, today I'm gonna be talking about Hellmode tier list, including Hellclown. I've been playing on KR recently. I actually cleared Hellclown the other day. And this is gonna be the post-March 15th balance patch, which we're gonna be getting. Hopefully we're gonna be up to date with KR balance patch. XCD gang. Yeah. Alright. So I'm gonna be making a tier list now. This is gonna be based on Hell, Bolton, Vicus, and Clown. So I'm not gonna be separating them. But I'm gonna be talking about which classes I think are like overpowered and you know, just generic class strength. Just keep in mind that this is gonna be different from normal content, because in normal content you have access to level 10 gems, as well as you know, like 100 quality weapons, stuff like that, like 9-7 rocks, you know, that changes like the class strength. But in Hell mode, keep in mind you only get 5x3 level 8 gems and level 1 relic set. Okay, all right, first class, guys, our favorite spec, remaining energy blade. Guys, as you guys know, in the March balance patch, remaining energy got buffed by about 12%, guys. This insanely strong class that's been regarded as one of the best damage ceiling back attackers by one of the most well-known blades on EU Central, Alan ZQ, guys. He's a professional player for Team Liquid. One of the strongest classes in the game. Nah, it's dog shit. But it's probably not that bad anymore. Okay, you know what, guys? I think it's mediocre. You know, last time I ranked this as worse than Slot, but with the buffs, it's actually kind of not that bad. Not that bad, guys. What is the benefit of playing remaining energy over Surge? Well, you have higher Maelstrom uptime, which is good for a lot of slow classes. Yes, you do get that 3% nerf. I think, by the way, I think after the entropy nerfs in KR, I don't think entropy is as good anymore. And also, it's terrible in Hell Clown. Honestly, I think Hitmasters are really, really broken next patch. And they are already really quite strong even now. So I'm down to put this in mediocre for now. It might be worse than Slot though. We'll see. Agreed? Alright. Next one. Surge Blade, guys. Surge Blade is like one of the current monsters in NA patch. This class is absurdly broken, even though you can only run level 8 Surge Gem in Hell mode. Yeah. I mean, it's OP. Yeah, this is a Hell mode only tier list. But the thing is that Surge Blade got a 3%, and actually now it's a 6% positional nerf if you include Gunlancer synergy. It is actually weaker. You know, 6% might not sound like a lot, but it's actually a lot when you're talking about the top levels of play in Inferno. This class is still S tier because of the positional synergy in a Gunlancer party. However, it's not as strong as it was before. You'll see like a reoccurring trend here in this tier list is that a lot of the entropy classes got hit hard from the nerfs. Yeah, they got hit really hard. The only class that's broken is Slayer, but it's not on this tier list, so I'm not going to talk about it. Okay. Lunar Reaper, guys. Now, as you guys know, post balance patch, we're going to be getting the animation cancel on your identity, which helps a lot. And there's also going to be, I believe, a 10% bonus attack speed on your next attack coming out of your stealth identity, which makes it way more consistent to hit back attacks. However, with the entropy nerfs, I don't think this class is that strong. But also, we did talk about like the synergy, right? Actually, Reaper does not have a worse than slot synergy. It's actually pretty good. Defense reduction and stacks with Gunlancer, which means it makes you know, the defense reduction synergy actually better than attack power. If you have double defense reduction, it's actually almost 7% bonus damage. So, for that reason, I think I'm going to put Lunar Reaper above average for now, guys. I think it's above average at the highest ceiling. It's pretty decent. That doesn't mean you should play it, because you're probably bad at Reaper, not gonna lie. This class is not easy to play. Just look at Solus's gameplay. Alright. Next class. Thirst. Thirst or Hunger Reaper, guys. This class got a few changes. They buffed a few of the red skills, I believe, for Thirst. Which they then reverted, and I think they buffed the class engraving itself, right? However, keep in mind, it did receive an indirect 6% positional damage nerf. Positional 6% damage nerf. So what does this class offer? Pretty much nothing. I mean, it does no damage in Hellmode. It has a pretty decent synergy, but it's not as good as crit rate. The stagger is okay. The destruction, mediocre. Not that you really need it in Hellmode, but yeah. I mean, I wouldn't take this class, to be honest. I think it's just a mediocre class. Is it above or below remaining energy? Honestly, it's probably below. I'd rather have a remaining energy blade. If I had to choose between these two, I'd rather have a synergy slave than something just utterly useless. Worse. It's just bad. It's not worse than slot, but it's just bad. Yeah. The only player I know playing this shit still is Deja, and I've seen some of his Hell Clown recently. This guy is not parsing shit, and he's a good player. But the class is just weak. There's nothing you can do about it. Alright. Next one. Demonic Impulse. I talked about this before, but transformation classes in Hellmode are stuck at level 8 gems. If there was an option to like fuse all the level 8 gems you get in Hellmode and like get a level 10 instead, it might be playable. But the reality is, every other class gets 11 level 8 gems for free, and you're stuck on 2. So you know what? Just based off that, this is worse than slot. Yeah. I think Demonic Impulse is just worse than slot, guys. 6% attack buff synergy. It has the worst synergy in the game. 6% is the most generic synergy and also the weakest one out of all the synergies. It provides literally nothing for the team, actually. I mean, it has decent stagger, good uptime and tankiness, but you don't need that. At the highest level of play, you can have the same uptime on Demonic as other classes. This is like basically a fodder class for like low tier players who are learning how to play the game. Because let's be real, even outside of Hellmode, if you play Demonic Impulse still, you're probably just broke and you can't afford a better class. It is what it is. Alright. Perfect Suppression, guys. You know, this class used to be called Perfect Depression, but it's actually not that weak. Also, it's kind of cool. It suffers too many problems though, and the first thing is that it runs out of mana in regular content, even with mana food. So how the fuck are you supposed to have mana in Hell mode when you can't eat food? Other than that, I think this is actually a pretty decent class. I think it's actually a decent back attacker. It also looks pretty fun to play. That being said, Is it stronger than some of the other back attackers on this tier list? I think it's just mediocre, man. I think it belongs like right next to Thirst and like Remaining Energy. It's just mediocre, man. And the synergy is not that great either. It's the same synergy as Demonic Impulse. Is it stronger than Thirst? It's like right next to each other. They're just both equally bad. I would put it right here. If you want to play Hellmode on Demonic, I would practice Perfect Suppression. Don't play Demonic Impulse unless you want to get booted out of the Party Finder. I guess you could play Demonic if you're like doing prog or something. But PS is the way to go. It fits nicely into the Blade Gunlancer synergy party. And yeah. You'll see pretty good numbers. I think Saturn said he did around like 3 on... He did like 2.8 to 3 in Vicus Gate 1, which is actually really solid. I mean, kinda. Considering the other back attackers can do 4 in Vicus Gate 1, it's kind of shit. But it's not as shit as Demonic, so we'll put it in mediocre. Alright. Barrage Artillerist, guys. I think this class has been like a little bit overinflated in terms of like how good people think it is. And it's because in KR, people always... Everyone in KR says, oh my god, Barrage is so overpowered and requires no brain cells to play. Yeah, it's different in Hellmode because you can't tank everything like you can in overgeared content. This class is very, very selfish. It's probably one of the most selfish DPSers in the game. You guys know every time you go into turret, you have to have a macro that says, yo, support, DR me, shield me, wow. Every time they go into turret, they're crying for DR. No one else who plays with this fucking party, plays with this class, ever gets DR. Ever. Not once. It's the most selfish class in the game. And what's crazy is it doesn't even do the highest numbers. Does it belong at very strong? I think it does. But it's super annoying to play with this class. It's not fun for anyone else. It's like the Igniter of... It's the male Ignition class, but it requires even more babysitting than Igniter. I think I have to put it in very strong though, because it can do like pretty insane numbers. Okay. Firepower enhancement. Actually, I'm going to talk a little bit more about Barrage. This class, it's really bad in certain gates. Vicus Gate 3, it's pretty much unplayable. There's only one person I knew who could play it, but he already quit the game. Most people who play Barrage swap to Firepower in Gate 3 Vicus because there's too many dangerous patterns that you can't greed your turret uptime at all. So yeah, there's a lot of problems and issues with this class. I think it still deserves a very strong spot though. Okay. Firepower enhancement. I originally thought this spec was dog shit, but then after seeing some numbers, I think it's actually pretty decent, man. Especially after the, you know, the buffs that it received. It's kind of like Reflux Sorg. I mean, they're basically the same class. If anything, Firepower is even easier to play than Reflux Sorg because you're not full. You're basically not like full Swift. You're playing crit Swift. The class has good stagger. It has good destruction. It doesn't require any babysitting whatsoever, and it's kind of tanky as well. That being said, is the damage above average? I think it is slightly above average, maybe. I might adjust this later, but it's a very simple, easy class to pick up. And it does decent numbers, man. You can't go wrong with Firepower enhancement. I think it's not bad. Okay. Next class is Enhanced Weapon Deadeye. So, post-March update, Enhanced Weapon received a 25% damage buff to your main shotgun skill last request, and it receives another buff to where if the boss is staggered, you do 50% more damage on last request, which makes the grenade domination build even slightly more viable, I think. Is enhanced weapon S tier where I put it before? That's actually tough. With the nerf of like the back attack synergy, they're indirectly losing 6% damage positional. That being said, I think it's still really strong. It's probably busted. I think it's pretty good in outside of Clown. I think it's pretty good in Vicus, all 3 gates. I did pretty good numbers on it, even though I'm shit at the class. Is it an overpowered class or very strong? I think I'm going to have to... I think I'm going to have to put it in very strong. I don't think I can put it in overpowered anymore, even though it got buffed. I just feel like Hitmasters are in too good of a spot right now, guys. Just too good of a spot. It is really, really good synergy. It has actually 100% uptime on crit sin. It's actually, I think it's easier to maintain crit sin on Deadeye over Gunslinger because the grenade lasts 8 seconds. But it's a very, very technical class, very hard to play. But you really do need to greed those shotgun back attacks and know boss patterns super well. I think this class is like on the cusp of S tier, but after playing it, I do think it heavily depends on your team and having perfect synergies. If your team doesn't play around you, you're fucked. On the other hand, Surge Blade is very flexible in that you can always get a back attack on your Surge. Almost always, outside of Clown. So I'm going to put this in very strong for that reason. Do I think Deadeye should be switched to Hitmaster? No, that's called Gunslinger, sir. What exactly is a nerf? I can see. It's the Blade plus Gunlancer synergy nerf by 3% positional. So you're basically losing 6% on any class that is not... any back attacker class is basically losing 6% damage. Okay. Resending question, fair to say this tier list being for Hell makes it most objective for assessing class strength, or is it skewed for Hell content? It's not perfectly good at assessing class strength because of level 10 gems and other stuff that I talked about. It's mostly skewed for Hell. I will make a regular tier list probably after March 15th. Maybe, but I don't want to like do the gatekeeping thing, so... Yo, Tsubasa, thank you for the Prime sub, man. Much love. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's talk about Pistoleer. Yeah, it's dog shit. I mean, this is like literally the cheapest build in the game for a reason. It does nothing. I mean, why would you even play this class? If you're gonna play this class, you might as well go like farm Chaos Dungeon mobs instead of playing Hellmode. Pistoleer is just bad. The damage is terrible. After the buffs, it's still worse than Slot. It's actually unplayable, man. It's actually unplayable. I think it's slightly stronger than a few other classes in this tier list, though. But yeah, Pistoleer. If you pick this spec in Hell mode, you probably deserve to get booted out of the lobby. Okay. It's weak outside of Hell mode, and in Hell, it's even weaker. I actually don't even know what they can do to fix this spec because it's not that hard to play, but it's just a very, very weak class relative to other classes in this tier list. I mean, it has pros, I guess. It's technically a Hitmaster's class, and it does have one of the best synergies in the game. That being said, I don't think it does enough damage itself to deserve a spot outside of worse than Slot. Is it above Demonic for synergy? Probably, yeah. Okay, that's all I need to say about Pistoleer. If you're gonna play Deadeye, you should play Enhanced Weapon. Which is, in my opinion, not only way stronger, but it also is way more fun. Let's talk about Peacemaker. So as you guys know, Peacemaker receives a massive buffs, and don't even call it quality of life changes, because in reality, it's a massive buff. What they did is you can now pre-cast Sharpshooter to where you don't need to hit all 7 shots to get the final strike damage, right? So you can pre-cast Sharpshooter, and if you miss any shot, you still get the final strike damage of all 7 hits. This is a huge change, and not only that, they reduced the number of shots from focus shot by 1. So now you only need to fire 3 total shots instead of 4, which makes focus shot a lot faster now. And finally, they straight up buffed perfect shot to do more damage, which means it's now taken over SRF, even in Hellmode and normal content. I believe Peacemaker back then was between A and S tier, but now I can firmly and confidently say Peacemaker is broken. Yeah. I think it's broken, guys, and I think it's above Surge. I think it's very, very strong. It's the most flexible class in the entire game. You require no synergies. You can play with either support. You don't care about positioning because you're a hitmaster. You don't care about boss positioning because you have long range and short range skills. It is by far one of the highest skill expression classes in terms of uptime management and cooldown management in the game. And it also has the best synergy in the game at 100% uptime. I think Peacemaker is overpowered. It does the same damage in 3 shots. Yeah, it does. It just straight up got buffed. I don't know why they buffed this class. It makes no sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it didn't even need the buffs, to be honest. It was already really strong, but they decided to buff Peacemaker for whatever reason. That being said, KR usually balances around the median average, which means the average Peacemaker player is probably bad at the game. Bad enough to the point where they need to buff the class. That's the thing, guys. They balance around the average, okay? Not the top end. Which is a balanced philosophy that they decided to choose. I'm not going to say it's right or wrong, but this is what happens when you make skilled classes with a high ceiling overpowered, right? The higher the skill ceiling on the class, the more shit players there are going to be. That's just how it works. All right. Time to hunt. This is the counterpart of Peacemaker Gunslinger, except you have no shotgun skills. And you only run 6 damage skills unless you want to run grenade at level 10. Yes, this did get buffed the previous patch. And did it change anything? Not really. Time to hunt is probably almost unplayable. Yeah. It's almost unplayable, guys. Actually, I think I'm just gonna put it in unplayable. I don't even think it's better than Demonic Impulse, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like you can't even do as much as Demonic on this class. It's so bad. This class relies on Rune Synergy with Conviction Judgment. And if you don't fit all 4 sniper skills into that small window of C+J, you're fucked. Yeah. You're not doing any damage. You're just sitting there waiting on cooldowns. Any variant of Time to Hunt is bad. And the reason is because while spec Time to Hunt is viable outside, since once you overgear content, you can do high burst, 4 skills into AFK waiting for downtime. This doesn't work in Inferno because you're on eye level with balanced gear, equalized gear, 0 quality weapon. You don't have the damage to take advantage of 4 skills, burst, AFK. Constantly hitting the boss is very, very valuable in Inferno, guys. For that reason, I think Time to Hunt is actually one of the worst classes in the game for Inferno. Yeah, it's terrible. Also, you're running double class in Inferno, which is even worse because Peacemaker is best taken at level 1 for Time to Hunt builds. You can't run a class engraving or any engraving at level 1 in Inferno. You're fixed at level 3 engravings, which means you have to play Time to Hunt with Peacemaker 3. which loses a lot of damage value when it comes to playing Time to Hunt. That's another important thing to keep in mind. It's unplayable. If you make Time to Hunt and you want to play Inferno, either learn Peacemaker or just get off that class, man. Play something else. Alright. Evolutionary Legacy. You know, I was talking with Milk recently, a while ago, and he said he couldn't outdamage Pistoleer on Evo Legacy. And if he can't do it while animation hacking and speed cheating, who can? This class is unplayable. That's right. I can't even call it worse than slot. I was actually gonna put it in a worse than slot before, but then now that I know he was playing Evo Legacy while cheating and he couldn't out DPS a Pistoleer, this shit is unplayable dog. Trash. Don't play this class. It's like the shittier version of it's like literally Demonic Impulse, except you have to head attack everything. You're capped at 1700 spec in Inferno, so you can't even 2-skill transform. You need 1771 spec to transform in 2 skills. You can't do that in Inferno. You miss 1 skill, you're fucked. This class it's just bad. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it probably doesn't deserve the not played unplayable. I'm gonna put it at worse than slot. It's really, really bad. I think it's just worse than Demonic Impulse. Again, the 2 gem thing, it's a transformation class, but you're using 11 level 8 gems. It doesn't take advantage of that at all. That's right, guys. Milk Boba playing Evo Legacy and using speed hacks can't outdamage Pistoleer. That's how you know this class is terrible. Alright. We go on, guys. Next spec. AT Scouter, guys. AT Scouter. I think this is... You know what? There's very few players who play AT Scouter. Last time I saw Deja playing it, I think he did like 2.3 in Gate 1 Vicus. But I know very little about this class. I think I was talking about with Annie West and they said it's like mediocre. But I don't know like how strong it actually is. Because no one plays this shit. Zergling, you said AT Scouter's above average. I'm a player. Okay, what do you usually do? Like, what is the perfect synergy for AT Scouter? And like, how much do you usually do in Vicus? You don't need synergy? Okay. I've seen it do 3 mil Gate 2 pretty reliably. It's self-sufficient like GS. I see. Okay. 3 mil? I guess I can put that above average then, actually. I know it did get buffed in KR, and people are pumping on it in KR. I'm not going to put it in very strong then, because I know too little about the class, but I think it's fair to put it like right here then. Above average. Would you agree, Zerg? Probably above like firepower. Yeah, I'll put it here. It did get buffed in KR at level 3 class, that's right. It's probably like decent now in Inferno. Self-sufficient, right? Like you said. Again, if you play this spec, you're probably actually pretty good at it. Because I don't think people normally play AT. Only like AT mains play AT. Like, you're not gonna have a Evo Scouter main just like suddenly swap to AT for Hell. It's very unlikely because the playstyle is completely different. You have to micromanage like drone control. It's not easy to play at all. AT Scouter actually is one of the harder specs to play in the game, I think. It's a very uptime based class. So yeah, I'll put it at above average. Let's talk about Sharpshooter, guys. You guys have been waiting for. As you guys know, Sharpshooter got a massive rework and changes in KR to where Death Strike and Loyal Companion, these two builds are very, very different now. Now with LC, you're no longer running that full Swift build. You are running 1000, 1200 stat split. That's the most popular build in KR now. It's 1000 Swift, 1200 spec, guys, for LC, and Death Strike is with a full spec build that requires double crit rate to function. I talked specifically with Tofu about this, so I think I know the relative class strength. I'm going to put Death Strike at above average. And the reason is that it requires too much to, function as a burst class. It requires a double crit synergy to be played, actually. It's actually unplayable without double crit syn, according to Tofu. But it does burst really hard if you have 2 crit syns. But this is not the strongest build of Sharpshooter anymore, guys. It's actually LC, which is now one of the most monster builds in the game. LC used to be above average / mediocre, but after the changes and this new build, it is now, I think it's overpowered by a lot. I think it's actually stronger than Peacemaker. It does so much damage, guys. It is so fucking OP. I actually never seen anyone out DPS an LC Sharpshooter in KR unless they're playing fucking Slayer. Yeah, that's right. This class is now just straight up broken, and I don't even know why. The damage is insane. The ease of play is insane. It's not insanely hard to play this class. LC 50-50 split, guys. This is now the new meta. This is the reigning Hitmaster class, one of them. The buffs for LC and Peacemaker, they're like kind of in tandem. These two Hitmaster classes are now beyond broken. They're just beyond broken, guys. What set do they go? I think they're playing Jisho, do you know? I think it's Hallucination, right? Or is it Solve? I forgot. It's Solve, right? Half it's Solve, okay. It is Solve. So 50-50 is Salvation build. That's right. Stoops made it look not OP. Toru plays Solve. Okay, Toru is the god Sharpshooter player I played with, guys. You can check the VOD. You can check the VOD. I literally played with him. He got like MVP every gate. And we were playing with TRD. Yeah. This build is turbo busted. It's 50-50 it's 50-50 spec Swift, I think. Right? Wait, crit? No, sorry, it's crit spec. It's 50-50 crit spec. What's the drama? I can cover it after this, but yeah. LC is extremely overpowered, and no, I'm not hiding GS, guys. I think GS is almost there, but from the numbers I've seen, LC is actually on top this patch. And not just in Hellmode, okay? It's just disgusting. I think the build is Mass Increase, Hitmaster, Grudge, LC, Keen Blunt, I want to say. I think that's the build. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna go over to the next monster, guys. The next monster class. Mass Increase is for DS. I think he ran Mass Increase on LC. Or Toru does, at least. This is post, yeah, this is with the synergy nerf on Surge. This is post balanced patch. Okay, this is on the KR balanced patch tier list. It was Crystal. Oh, you guys can actually check the VOD for the exact engravings. I don't remember, but I think I inspected his character in the VOD. Let's talk about Emp and Emp. There's like this meme, you know, everyone knows it now. They say Emp greater than Emp. You pick whichever you want, they're both broken. This is not true whatsoever in Hellmode. In fact, one of these specs is significantly stronger than the other. Significantly, and it's not even close. And I'll talk about why one is way stronger than the other, okay? First off, Empress focuses 3 of its skills in damage gems, right? And that's your 3 rune skills if you're playing 3-2, and 4 if you're playing 4 red skills. This makes it so they don't get that much value with equalized gems like level 8, while Emperor is more spread out in terms of how its gems work. Another thing is Emperor excels at fight knowledge, and that's because one of their highest damage skills and card generators, Evoke, can be pre-positioned based on where you know the boss is going to be spawning. This is a super sweaty class. If you think about it, there's so many times where you don't realize where the boss is spawning, but in reality, if you remember like where the boss is, you can find out. And I'm talking about Clown specifically. A lot of the times in Clown Gate 1, Clown Gate 1, he disappears for like a mech. Actually, a lot of the time he's gonna spawn in the same spot he disappeared, but like 30 seconds later. And the Giga sweaty players, and we do this in Hell now, they remember where the clown disappeared from. And they pre-place evokes based on where he spawns in after the cutscene. This is like one of the most sweaty classes in the game. High APM swiftness class. Very rewarding in terms of fight knowledge. Actually really good stagger. The only con of this class is it never has this counter up because it uses it for synergy on cooldown. However, doesn't change anything. I think Emperor is turbo broken. Yeah, I think it is one of the strongest classes in Hellmode at the moment. It's also Hitmaster. It's also ranged. It's just insane. It has a lot of tools to maintain boundless mana that Empress can't. It's just fucking broken. Yeah. Emperor is, I think... I don't know if it's stronger than LC. What do you think, Jisho? I'm not sure. I think they're kind of close. It is stronger than LC. Oh, bet. Okay. I guess Emperor's at the top, guys. Empress. I just talked about why it's not that strong. This class, just like Emperor, requires boundless mana status at all times. However, it's very reliant on good cards. You get a star in Hellmode, you're not getting boundless for the next 2 minutes. I think Empress is very strong, but at the very bottom of it. I don't think it's that good anymore. The EMP greater than EMP meme, Emp greater than Emp, it's just not true anymore. It's pretty bad. Yeah, compared to Emperor. But people actually thought Empress was like OP, but this is just not the reality, guys. Actually, this class is very easy to play compared to Emperor. It doesn't require any knowledge of the fight whatsoever. No pre-placement evoke things, nothing like that. It's just straight up 4 stacks on boss, detonate. 4 stacks on boss, detonate. It's not very good. Relative to Emperor. However, I think it is still above average. It is a Hitmaster class. It does have the best synergy in the game. Therefore, I am going to put it in very strong. But near the bottom. Well, yeah. Back attack classes, but this is not only for Clown G show. I'm rating this for all 3 raids. That's right. That's why I still have Surge up here. Otherwise, yeah, XTD. All right, Desperate Salvation. This engraving is actually not taken. In Hellmode, besides for Gate 3 of Clown. Okay. This is the only time it's taken because Gate 3 of Clown is not a damage check and you're gonna need a lot of healing later on. Potentially healing in a bingo phase. Where you don't actually need to do damage buffs outside of the bingo itself. For that reason, I'm gonna put it in not played. And same with True Courage, DPS Bard, Kek W, that is a meme. Alright. Do people take Explosive Expert instead? So there's many options for Bard, but the meta is Heavy Armor, Magic Stream, Explosive, Drops, and either, you know, I think like, oh yeah, sorry, Awakening. That's right. Or you can take Expert. Sometimes you don't even need to take Expert. Maybe like Awakening, Expert, Heavy Armor, Explosive, Magic Stream, or Drops in place of Explosive. Okay. Same thing on Artist. I'm gonna rate that one same. So I'm gonna have all the supports over here. Artist, I run this class engraving now in Hellmode for certain gates in Clown, because Clown there's just like a lot of like burn damage and stuff like that. But outside of it, yeah. And Judgments also go in here. Bet. Blessed Aura is normally taken because Paladins don't have anything better to take, and having the passive healing is kind of nice, and the DR. But I'm still gonna put it in like not played because I don't think it's like worth like rating this. You guys already know how it works. Bar doesn't take class engraving because they're normally sending attack buffs only. They're only sending a Serenade of Courage. Very rarely are you supposed to heal, only in Clown Gate 3, okay? Do we use healing engraving in Hell Cuckoo? Yeah, in Gate 3 we do. And in Gate 1, 2, and 3, I recommend taking Artist support engraving. Because Artist doesn't have mana issues, it doesn't require magic stream or MP increase. So you kind of just take class engraving anyways. For the eggs, it's kind of nice. Okay. Ignition, right? Everyone knows Ignition is like the queen of burst and wail in normal content, and she is. She's got the highest 15-second burst window of any class. Her burst window lines up perfectly with a 3-bar courage. 15 seconds on courage and 15 seconds on your igniter approximately. It's very, very strong in normal content. That being said, it's like the biggest synergy leech in the game. It's requires as much babysitting as Barrage, if not actually less, but it's still annoying to play with. And the numbers it puts up are not that insane, considering how much of a synergy leech and babysitting she requires. I'm going to put Igniter Sork above AT Scouter. But that being said, I don't think this class is really worth playing around in Hell mode. I think it's just, honestly, if you're gonna play Sork in Hell, just ignite whenever you want. Don't make the bard like babysit you 3 bars. It's actually Turbo Grief because you know what normally goes in a Sork party is like double crit sin, so probably something like Gunslinger or Arcana. But if you're making the bard hold their 3-bar the whole time for these for the ignition, it's really not worth it because the other 2 classes are not getting buffs, and they benefit more from like constant 2 bars rather than a 3-bar, right? For that reason, I'm gonna put it in above average. Can you settle a debate between me and my friends? Is enhanced weapon or emperor harder? For me, I'm gonna say emperor's harder. Enhanced weapon is like more about like positioning and stuff. It's not like so much like mechanical. Is Sork a bigger synergy leech than Scrapper? I think it is, but Scrapper actually puts up better numbers than Sork, from my experience. Reflux, guys, I think this is like... I think after the Reflux 3 buffs in KR, I think it's probably like an above average spec. I'm gonna put it like... above firepower, I think. It's like super safe, consistent damage. It's not bad, guys. I think the meta build for Reflux is 1400 crit 800 Swift. And you try to maintain boundless mana. Reflux is not as easy as it seems though, because you need to play reverse gravity, which is a kind of a pain in the ass skill to use. Especially if you're not taking the wide expansion tripod for it. It's actually very small to hitbox and it requires you to be next to the boss. And it's actually quite like a dynamic playstyle. You're constantly like teleporting in and out with spacebar and identity to maximize your reverse gravity and like boundless mana, right? Well, it's not that simple to play compared to some of the other hitmasters, but that being said, I think it's a very safe class. I think it's above average. Okay. Greater Summoner or Master Summoner, guys. You know, if I made this tier list, a day earlier, I would have put Master Summoner at Beyond Broken in its own section, guys. It would be fucking disgusting. The only class in this tier list that can do 5.2. Except it turns out that guy's cheating and speed hacking. That being said, guys, I think it's still overpowered. I think it's really good. The mana buff is actually not used that often, because normally you're in the Hitmaster class and you have an Emperor Arcana, you do want to maintain boundless mana. However, I think it's still really strong. That being said, is it stronger than these titans right here? I don't think so. I think it's really good. But if you aren't casting at 3 times the game's intended animation speed, you're not doing 5.2. Let's be real. It's not like a super consistent class. A lot of the times, you know, the long animations can really lead to inconsistency, or like random deaths happening. It does have the lowest mobility of any class in the game. Actually, even less than Ignition Sword, because Igniter Sword can use your Blink identity if you're in a huge pinch, while Summoner is just fucked. No spacebar, you're a sitting duck. That's right. That being said, it is a very, very strong class. It is running Salvation build in Hellmode, which is a plus. Yeah, I think it's a strong class. I'm not really sure where to put it on this tier list, because after seeing like other numbers and stuff, it's hard to rate this class now that I know Milk Boba is like confirmed cheater. But I think it still belongs S tier. Yo, Steel and Yo, thank you for the Prime sub, man. Much love. Appreciate the support. Thank you, thank you. Is SG a bit less strict with DPS meters? No, if you run DPS meter in Korea, you're getting banned instantly. It's just auto flag into permaban. Do not do it. What do you mean cheater? He was using speed hacks, animation hacks to cast at 3 times the speed. Yeah. Guys, I'll answer all the questions after I finish this tier list, okay? Because, yeah, we are making that YouTube video. Alright. Communication overflow. Honestly, yeah. This is a full Swift class that is really easy to play. The only time, like no flame, but my good friend Jane said she was pumping on this class when she played it, and she was doing 2 mil. So, yeah. I think this class is low-key kind of shit compared to Master Summoner. And she's like one of the best bard players I know. But she was playing this thing, she was swinging her staff around, summoning her mobs and stuff. They call this class Pet Summoner because it has a bunch of summons. You got like a bear that runs around and shit, draws aggro. It's fun to play. Is it good? I don't know, man. It's strong. It's good. Okay, do you think it above average or very strong? What do you think, Christine? I've never ever played with a fucking communication overflow player. Three plus mil class. I don't know how to rate this class because I've never played with anyone outside of Jane who plays CO. No, I don't put Hell Caligos into consideration. This is just for all raids. Say it's good. Okay. It's below FPE. Probably top of above average. Okay. I'll leave it here for now, and if you guys have if I'll let some of the pros in my chat talk about where they want to put this later on. After we'll shift all the rankings and stuff later. So I do want this to be as accurate as possible. Alright, let's talk about Lance Master or Glaivier as she's called in NA Western version. Control. Guys, we'll talk about control. Pros of this class. It's got a great synergy. Yeah. Cons, literally everything. It does no damage. It's back attack with no mobility. It's I don't know. Actually, I've never seen anyone play this in Hellmode because it's just so fucking bad. This is probably worse than Slot. Actually, what's crazy is my control Lance Master parses like 3 mil and tricks you on an ambush and it just runs out of mana. And it's like fucking 1500 eye level. I don't get it. What does this class offer? Dagger and destruction, I guess? And synergy on demand. That's pretty much it. I mean, I've never seen anyone say, "Oh, bet I'm glad I have a control Lancemaster on my team." Cause I think this class is worse than Slot, guys. It's actually really, really bad. The thing is, I don't know where to put it though. Like, is it worse than Pistoleer? No mobility? Well, your main mobility skill, Flash Kick, I think it's what it's called, is actually one of your damage skills because it's a level 10. It's leveled to a level 10 with 3 tripods. So you actually can't use it. Well, you're losing damage if you use it as mobility, is my point. Mediocre? You guys think this is mediocre? Really? Bro, there's no way this is mediocre. This is worse than Slot. Bottom of mediocre. This is tough. It's actually tough. I mean, it does have a good synergy. Let's be honest. It's not Pistoleer bad. Okay, I'm gonna put it at the bottom of mediocre for now. I think it does less damage than Hunger for sure. Hunger actually has like perma access to the back attack, so it actually does have 100% entropy uptime. Control? No, it doesn't. Like I said, Flash Kick is not a true mobility skill because it's part of your main damage like rotation. You can only use spacebar. And what happens if you spacebar to the back of the boss and she just turns around? You're literally fucking walking around the boss, like doing nothing. And it's a swiftness class, which means it's a full swiftness class, which means you never have if you're losing uptime, you're just losing damage. I don't know it's me, but I outdamage other classes with control. Okay, whoever you're outdamaging as control does not have hands. It is what it is. You're playing with people that are either fucking 80 years old or they're half blind. Okay? It is what it is, man. Peacemaker Gunslinger呢 Peacemaker 现在就非常强嘛，在是KR server, right? Okay. Pinnacle is really, really strong, guys. Really strong. You guys have seen TRD play it. You guys have seen Shiru play it. The strongest variant of Pinnacle is actually Entropy, Ambush Master. But I still believe you play Salvation. I could be wrong. But you do run Ambush Master in the back attack party. Keep in mind that it did get 6% back attack nerf, and I think it only got a 3% buff, if I recall. So this class, this spec actually got nerfed. It actually got nerfed, guys. Yeah. If someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a 3% buff to the class engraving, but a 6% entropy nerf. So that means that it's just straight up weaker. No, for that reason, I used to put it at S, but I have to downgrade it, I think. I just have to, guys. It is like super like flexible and stuff. But it has a fake synergy. It only buffs for itself. The 18% is never up when you actually want it. It's up like half the time. Low key, I think it's right here. It's still giga strong, but it got a 3% nerf from, you know, its peak performance, which is ambush variant. So that's why I'm going to put it in very strong, even though last time I put it in overpowered. And I do think it's better than Deadeye. I do. Okay. We'll go on to Shock Scrapper, guys. Shock Scrapper, biggest, most well-known synergy leech back attacker in the game. Has the worst synergy in the game. It's very slow. Has a lot of super armor for tanking shit. Honestly, I think both the Scrappers are just like whatever. Mediocre. I put them very strong last time, but I don't think I really want to this time. I feel like they're just annoying to play with. And they die half the time. That being said, is a Shock Scrapper pumping? Are they pumpers, guys? What do you guys think? I do remember seeing some pretty insane Scrapper pulls in Gate 2 of Vicus. I don't know. I don't really know where to rank this actually. I feel like last time I put them in very strong, but I'm low-key about to put them in mediocre. Actually, probably not. It's just annoying to play with these classes. Shock is like super slow too. It's super slow. And it's like leeching the synergy in the back attack party, which just got nerfed. Here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I think I'm gonna put it like below Moon, honestly. I actually think I'm gonna put it below Moon Reaper. I think Moon Reaper is stronger than Shock. This might be you know, this might be like a controversial opinion, but I think it's worse. Igniter only above average. This is for Hellmode. Yeah. This is for Hellmode. I have to downgrade like most of the back attackers 1 tier because of the entropy situation. So yeah. I think both of these classes are above average. I'm just gonna put them next to each other. Tai is easier to play. Honestly, if you're gonna play Scrapper and Hellmode, you should probably just play Tai. Shock like dies too much, and it's like Giga Greed. I don't know how many times I've seen Shock Scrappers die just from greeting patterns where they have like no mobility up at all. They just die. Yeah, these two classes are just annoying to play with. And they're not like insane pumpers either. They also have the worst synergies in the game. I'm gonna put them in above average. Put full bloom at overpowered no cap. Is it? Nah. Alright, let's go into Soulfist because I think I overrated these last time. I think EO Soulfist is probably like an above average thing. RS probably like mediocre. I don't really need to like explain too much about these classes, but I feel like they're just whatever, man. It's a full swiftness class. Most of the full swiftness classes just get turbo gapped by Emperor. EO is annoying to play around hype 3 and such. It's actually just a really annoying class to play because of the hype management. I think it has really high potential. The best Soulfist player I've seen is XYZ, but he doesn't even play this class anymore. It's probably above average. I'm gonna put it below Ignition, I think. Is it above AT? Probably. RS is good, but yeah, I believe RS runs Hallucination Set, which is like just whatever in Inferno. RS is like, bro, I've actually never seen anyone play this outside of one time I was playing with a bunch of Makokos. And I'm pretty sure the guy playing RS did like 1.5 in Gate 1. I don't really know where to rate this, to be honest. I think it's just bad. Mediocre, maybe. Why would you play this when EO exists? I'm not really sure. What do you think, Bonko? You play RS, right? I mean, for now, I'll probably put this at the bottom of mediocre. Yeah. Until, like, someone gives me, like, a better, like, rating for RS, I've never seen anyone play this class. You need more than 1700 spec. Okay, I see. Okay. Deathblow Striker, guys. I feel like Striker players are, like, far and few in between, man. There's like not that many Striker players, and some of them Giga Pump and some of them are just useless. That being said, Deathblow is synergy leech class because although they have 18% crit, they basically only buff their LTS, which is basically like not like timeable, right? Like you can't really like communicate, oh, I'm about to do the buff. Can you like do your like 20 stack surge, hold it for this? It's not worth it. They basically only buff for themselves, and the uptime is not that great either. It's 10%. No, it's 18. It's actually 18. I think it's actually very strong. It's definitely not above average. It's very strong. That being said, I feel like it's this area. These classes are all about the same. I think I'm gonna put it like above Empress for now. I think Deathblow Striker is above Empress, and it's not super hard to play. Yeah, just like a solid back attacker class, very solid. All martial artists don't contribute to synergy. That is true. Yeah, this is a Hellmode tier list. Okay. Esoteric Flurry. You know, people meme about this spec all the time. They say, lol, why would you play Esoteric, Eso Striker, Lamau when you could play Deathblow? It's actually not that weak, guys. I swear. Eso's actually fine. It's actually very playable, and I used to see Deja like pump some decent numbers on it. That being said, I think I will put it above average, but I'm not gonna put it like it's not like at the top or anything like that. It's like around like the Scrapper level, I think. And I think the crit synergy uptime is higher than Deathblow, right? if I believe it's slightly higher. Not really sure where to rank it. I don't think it's like in Scrapper territory. It's probably like around here. I'll just stick it right here next to EL for now. Bet. I heard about the Spec ESO build, but I'm not gonna make a... I don't know if like it's troll or not, but people are saying it's like actually Giga Pump. I'm not really sure. I'm not gonna talk about that because it's kind of a new build, right? Alright. If you guys recall the first time I made a tier list, I put Esoteric Wardancer at the top of very strong. Yeah. My bad, guys. My bad. Clueless. Yeah, this thing is it's turbo broken. There's a 4-spender build which is just absolutely bonkers insane. 4-spender ambush master, guys, entropy. It has the highest ceiling in the game, I think. And it's actually not only OP in Hellmode, but also outside of it. It's just the #1 ceiling DPS. Guys, it's overpowered. For sure. Yeah. This is the #1 back attacker in the game. Without a doubt. 4-spender ESO Wardancer is the strongest DPS in the game currently. Well, that being said, we don't have Slayer in our version, and it's not on this tier list, so I'm not going to rate it, okay? But Slayer is probably going to get nerfs. I don't know about 4-spender because it's like low-key flying under SG's radar, because very, very few people in KR actually play this build. 4-spender runs Esoteric 3 rather than ESO 1 class engraving. Bro, you can't keep adrenaline up. Why is Shit-Shooter on top? This is post-March balance patch. This is a KR balance patch which I've been playing on in Hell. So FI ESO is at the top, guys. It's at the top where it belongs. In disgustingly gross, overpowered class spec. This is the #1 DPS spec in my eyes. I think we're getting the KR balance patch the same as artist release, which is going to be March 15th. That's a speculation. So in 3 weeks about. Alright. First intention of Wardancer. This is not even... You can't even consider this spec ESO's low, bro. It is literally... dog. This build does no damage. There's like no player I've seen do any DPS on this build. Like, I've seen Shiru pump like 3 mil at his like highest. Maybe like 3.3, 3.4 in Vicus Gate 2. It's just a synergy slave, man. It's a synergy slave build. Which, I mean, synergies and stuff are like good and all, but considering how much damage you're sacrificing playing this build versus ESO, it's not worth it. Like, I don't even think it's worth it playing FI outside of the Gunlancer party. I really don't think this build is that good, guys. That being said, if you are playing FI, the synergies are really good to, you know, it's like kind of like too good to like pass up. I can't put it in mediocre for that reason. I think it's above average. Would I rather have an FI Wardancer in the... Would I rather have an FI Wardancer in the back attack party than a Scrapper? Probably not. I think it's not enough value. That being said, I think it's stronger than some of these other specs in terms of just synergy value alone. I'm going to put this spec above Igniter. Fuck Igniter, bro. I don't want to play with this thing in my party. Ever. Alright. Drizzle, Wind Fury. So these are Aeromancer. Yeah, I've never seen anyone pump on these in Hellmode. Like, low-key, it's probably mediocre. Um, I actually have no idea. I feel like I'm not gonna rate these properly, so I kind of don't want to rate them. I'm gonna make a, yeah, let me add a, I'm gonna shift some of these classes. I'm gonna make another tier and just make an average and then a mediocre one. We should do that. Actually, let me just do it now. Okay. Drizzle, Wind Fury, honestly, they have great synergies. I think they do like similar damage, right? They're very similar. But I haven't played with like enough Aeromancers in Hell Clown to know like how strong they actually are, and they also never go on the MVP screen. That being said, maybe I just need to play with a really good Aero player, but the thing is like they're kind of like capped. They don't have like a super high ceiling. Aeromancer always had like a reputation of being like a pretty easy to play class. But they have very good synergy. I believe it's 10% crit and attack speed, right? I'm down to just put these both right here for now. Alright, we're actually almost done, guys. Let's talk about BT. This spec got changed a lot in KR. It got changed a lot. That being said, both BT and Mayhem Berserker are just shittier versions of Slayer. It's kind of hard to rate these when both Slayer engravings are just straight up stronger than Berserker by a long shot. I don't know where to rate these, to be honest, because I haven't played with any in KR yet. Let me ask, yo, G-Show, are you still here? Do you know, like, what do you think about Mayhem and BT? Is it worse than Slot? I don't think it is. Overpower. Ask Asmongold. Yeah, they have the 6% attack synergy, which is literally the same as Slayer. Which is why, like, you wouldn't normally pick these classes in your party. I mean, I guess I don't really, like, dude, honestly, I don't know if they're pumping in KR is the thing, because, like, I don't see anyone play it in Hellmode. Am I gonna rate Slayer? It's like, bro, honestly, I'm gonna just stick both these classes in here. Like, fuck it. Bet. Mayhem average BT above? Wait, really? You think so? As a Mayhem main and try Deathless Vault in Hellmode. BT very strong. But are you talking about KR? We're talking about KR balance patch, guys, not current BTs are here. Dude, it's so hard to it's actually so hard for me to rate these two classes because no one plays Berserker in Hell. Everyone playing Berserker in KR is literally like an old ass dude who just wails on the class. That is like literally the what people think like Berserker players look like. Some like old man with a beard, just trying to be a big sword dude in game. Like upper tier. Probably above average. Mayhem's average or last time above average. Probably above average. I think BT is mediocre. Kyle, is this Kyle? You think Mayhem's lowest and above average in BT? Okay, fine. I mean, Kyle knows what he's talking about, surely. Mayhem is lowest and above average, and BT is, what did you say? Mediocre? Okay. I mean, it can't be worse than Control, right? Alright, I'll put it here then. Bet. I mean, nothing's worse than Control. Also, no one plays this class. Still, whatever. What's the highest ESO Wardancer I've seen on Gate 2? I think it's Flays, but I don't remember like what's highest parse. Maybe like 4.5 or something. Alright. Yo, let's talk about Destroyer, guys. Let's talk about Destroyer. A Bonk Master, guys. Gravity Training. If you guys don't know, this is the spec where they just use their identity and stand still and they just press left mouse button for 11 seconds straight. Yeah. I only know one person who plays this thing, and it's just its mechanics, and he's okay, you know what? I'm going to put GT Destroyer. Not in worse than slot, guys. Not in worse than slot. Bro, he did 3.8 1 Helgis with me. Actual god. Yeah, but how consistent is he doing 3.8? That's the thing. Like, how consistent? Like, it's probably average. I know I rated it mediocre last time, but it's probably average. The problem I have with this spec is its consistency is too bad because you know what, fuck it, I'm putting it mediocre actually. Yeah, it's just not consistent enough. I don't know. It's like a kind of like a synergy leech. Wants to be in an entropy class, entropy party. It's just not consistent. You have to stand still for 11 seconds or you're not doing damage. If the boss starts flying up, you're AFK. Like, I don't think it's very good, man. I think like front attack classes are all kind of shit. With one small exception. GT is gonna be right here for me. Right above BT, below Hunger. It's just not very good. Left to right placement does matter. I have the stronger being on the left, and then going right is weaker. So it does matter. Rage Hammer, I feel like it shares the same problems as GT. I think it's like slightly stronger though, because it's more consistent. A lot of people have been taking off in certain gates of, you know, hell content for the Destroyer class. They've been taking out Master Brawler in favor of Cursed Doll for more consistency. But I think their ceiling is quite low if you do that, because you still have to run entropy. Rage Hammer, I'm gonna put it above GT, but I don't think it's very good. Combat readiness. This build did get buffed in KR. So you no longer have to tank 3 hits to get maximum utility out of this class engraving. Now you can do 3 hits and you'll get the damage bonus. That being said, the engraving itself is the main purpose of it is to buff your shield, which means it's best run at level 1 class while taking advantage of level 3 Lone Knight, but you can't do that in Hellmode. You guys know Dan, he does a lot of damage with his 531 build, and he has massive shield gauge with this being a run at level 1. Since you can't do that in Inferno, and your damage sucks donkey balls because you're running combat readiness, which is like literally the lowest DPS engraving in the game, it's worse than slot, guys. This one. In fact, even when you're playing Stagger Bot in Gate 2 of Vicus or Fulton, you don't even run combat readiness. You just run Awakening and play Dominion. Yeah, it's basically not taken, guys. I mean, the only time you see someone take combat readiness is if they're like trolling in Gate 1 and they don't know how to play red. It's just bad. When do we talk about LC spec crit? I already talked about it earlier. What up, Rev? Last one, guys, and then I'll talk about Slayer after. Lone Knight. Well, guys, the main purpose of Gunlancer is to provide utility for the team with Nella's taunts and, you know, counters and stagger, right? That's what they're good at. The thing is that when the boss cannot be taunted, their main value is what? Synergy and their own damage, right? Gate 1 of Vicus, there's no doubt Gunlancer is best in slot for back attackers, but the problem with this engraving and the class itself is that it doesn't carry enough damage by itself to be worth taking in a lot of situations. For example, in Clown, I think most of the time Gunlancer is a liability in terms of DPS. That being said, there's like some pretty decent Lone Knight players out there who can actually make the class do decent amounts of damage. I don't know where to put this, man. I feel like it's remaining energy level of bad. Yeah. I'll put it at the top of mediocre. Because that's really what it is. It's just mediocre, guys. Bet. With the right synth, shouldn't Deathstrike be hard in LC? No, it's not even close. It's OP as fuck, just not as a DPS. I mean... yes, sort of. Not really. We talked about the Ambush Master nerfs already, the entropy nerfs. With the synergy loss, the 3% entropy loss on their taunt synergy. I think Gunlancer lost a lot of its value, man. I think it actually lost a lot of its value. And in general, entropy classes are just not as good now, right? Isn't average and mediocre the same meaning? No. I'm pretty sure average and mediocre do not mean the same thing. If you, you know what, bro? Mediocre. Of only moderate quality, not very good. I don't know about you, but not very good does not mean average. At least in my language, which is English, okay? Yeah. Yo, Kyle, thanks for the prime sub, appreciate it. Mediocre means below average. Alright, yo, that's it, guys. Yo, if you guys have any questions, you can stop by the fucking stream anytime. I stream like almost every day. Bet. Thanks for watching, guys. Later, YouTube frogs.